Oh, did you guys think I was letting you down? That's not possible. It's the Recap Lunch Hour here on a Tuesday with yours truly, Ryan McGuffey, in the downtown Score Studios. And I'm doing the score today. It looks like my Wi-Fi actually looks kind of shoddy here. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me and see me okay. The Recap Lunch Hour brought to you by our fine partners at Hooters. Visit originalhooters.com in one of Chicagoland's 11 locations. And you see the title of this. It's Why Are We Yelling? We're yelling about the Cubs bullpen. Becky, what's going on? Eli Morgan to the IL. Hopefully Nate Pearson to AAA. The Cubs bullpen's not good with Morgan and Pearson. I like Merriweather, Hodge, and Keller in the bullpen. That's where we are. That's where we are. Breck, I wore it for you. I was literally, dude, I was hoping that you're on. This has become my go-to. This has become the go-to jacket. The Monon staple, sweet jacket. I know Breck Bear owns one. LMF. I laughed out loud with that title. We're yelling about the Cubs bullpen. By the way, it feels and looks like I'm in a cell, which is never a good thing. But I'm downtown. I'm going on the radio with Lawrence Holmes from 2 to 6 today on the Score downtown. And look, what's funny is this is the kind of stuff, the go get Robertson, etc., that has me thinking, what is that going to do immediately for you, Becky? And you guys know how I feel about like going out and getting guys. I'm all for it, but like Robertson's gonna have to go to extended spring training at this point to get right before he's pitching a game here in Chicago. You're talking about probably at least 2 to 3 weeks before he's available. Andrew Chafin. Let's look at Andrew Chafin. Again, guys, all these guys that we're talking about right now, he's pitching for he's in the Tigers organization. All of these guys we're talking about right now are guys who are on the street. If they're on the street, you're trying to go in and you're just throwing stuff together. You're patching it together. I'm saying, like, calm the F down a little bit. I understand the need and the worry and the concern, but like, we aren't there yet. It's April. It's tax day. It's Jackie Robinson Day. Speaking of which, Kyle, happy Jackie Robinson Day. Besides opening day and Wrigley's home opener, my favorite day in baseball. Wow, that's very cool, Kyle. Looking forward to watching MLB pay tribute to a man who made dreams possible for so many to play professional baseball. Hat tip to that comment there, Kyle, no doubt. Landon, the Cubs need Kimbrel in their bullpen. They switched the sentiment. Craig Kimbrel. Now we're going back in time. I guess if the theme is yelling, spend money, Ricketts, before the deadline. That's going to happen. Here's the problem. We're all wishing for 3 months from now, which concerns me. That concerns me. Guff, everyone pump the brakes. There are going to be days like this where the bullpen is going to stink. It's only April. Let's wait until July to see if anything changes. Cubs are still in first place. Relax. Now, I'll flip the coin here a little bit, Eric. I understand why people are freaking out, because if you're pissing away games now, okay, and you win the division by 1 or 2 games, maybe it could have been 5 or 6, and you could have set your team up for down the line. I'm not a big like, hey, if you do this now, this helps you in September. The Cubs need to beat the teams on their schedule right now. They need to fix, and we have Craig Counsell today on the show. Craig Counsell is going to be on the Score with me and Lawrence, and there's some questions to ask. I want to know, with bullpen volatility always being a thing in baseball, I want to know, how long truly does a manager need before he feels comfortable designating roles in a bullpen? That's actually a question I'm going to ask. If Morgan and Pearson are sent down, who do you call up? Neely and Thompson seem most likely guys. I think it's going to be next man up mentality for sure. It seems like Eli Morgan's is an IL candidate. I'm pulling up the Iowa Cubs stats right now, just so we're all on the same page. And I think those two are probably what you're looking at here. Individual stats of the Iowa flipping Cubs. I don't want to mess up the theme. Godfather, just think, with a good owner, not a cheap one, how much fun this team could be. I guess my question is this. Is it a Craig Counsell problem? Is it a Jed Hoyer problem? Is it both? Is it neither? The Brewers lost yesterday. Again, this is something, you guys, like, I know Baseball's beautiful because there's always a game to play, right? There's always another game to play. And you're only as good as the last game. So now we're pissed off again, and the Cubs can go out and win tonight and make it better. People have pity on me for being a lifelong Sox fan, but you all need to know the Cubs won't win every game right now. I'll take half their wins. Really well said, Wayne. When you're on the other side of things, and I would love to have a bullpen problem right now, which, by the way, the White Sox have a pretty decent bullpen as we speak. As we sit here right now, I think they're like a top 10 bullpen. So make a phone call. Make a phone call, Jed Hoyer. Make a phone call just 8 miles south and pull yourself together. Maybe trade for some of these Cubs guys or White Sox guys. Oh, Kimbrel is in Rich, of course. What up, Guff? I'm not on the ledge yet, says Swayze. The Rockies have the worst record right now. Yeah, the Rockies are the White Sox of the West. But to Breck Bear's point, 10.5 games out of first place on April 15th. 10.5 games out of first place on April 15th. That's incredible. Eli Morgan going to the IL. Yes. What's the subject matter today, Clyde? Everyone's on the ledge talking about the Cubs bullpen. Swayze says, I hate the blown leads. Contending teams don't do that. Reinforcements are hopefully coming. How about the San Diego Padres, by the way? 11-0 at home. 11-0 at home. Saw the Hawks may introduce 2 different jerseys next season for their centennial celebration. Can't wait to see the designs. Could be on display at the NHL draft in June. Go Hawks. Speaking of the Hawks, I guess they weren't happy about my bet of the day yesterday, right? My bet of the day, which was the Montreal Canadiens, who went up quickly 2-0 and then decided they don't want to be in the playoffs, and the Blackhawks came back and won in a shootout. Becky answering the question, is it a Hoyer problem? Is it a Council problem? It's both. Sean, is Pearson out of options? I'd have to look that up. Does it matter? Are you okay if he's out of options? I think I would be at this point. I mean, really, I do think I would be okay. Sometimes you got to cut the guy loose. It's happened before in this town. I'm pulling up the bullpen right now. I know the Cubs have an ERA back over 5. The ERA for the Chicago Cubs bullpen right now is 5.23. Only the Rockies, Brewers, which is interesting, Angels, and Nationals are worse. I mentioned the White Sox. The White Sox are 6th in the majors with a 3.22 bullpen ERA. Think about that. Not something we thought we'd be saying for the Cubs and Sox. Pres of the USSA, the only common denominator is Jed and Tom. Godfather says, I challenge you on the radio today to say Ricketts is cheap. You can say that I said so. But here's the thing. I don't know if I know what you're saying, because the Dodgers went out and signed these guys. They went out and signed 3 closers at the back end of their bullpen. The Cubs have basically Porter Hodge and Ryan Presley. How do you bridge the gap if your pitchers last a 5 1/3 like Jameson Taillon did last night? I hear you. Jess, overall, the team is going a million times better than the Pirates, and I'm actively trying to convince my mom to make the switch and become a Cubs fan. She's one of only 3 Pirates fans left. I love when Jess craps on the Pirates, man, because it's getting louder and louder, and I just love when she does it. Is Giddy going to be healthy for the Bulls tomorrow night? I'm going to ask my friend Joe Cowley that here shortly. He's also going to join us on the score today, and I think I would be surprised if Josh Giddey didn't play tomorrow night. He would be really a lot more banged up than I thought. Richard Kimball's still a fugitive. That's what Thomas says. This would be going on 28 years, by the way. 1997, I believe that film came out. Swayze, unfortunately, the Rockies don't have any pitching worth trading for. They were out of contention at the winter meetings. That's funny and absolutely true and sad for those. There are people on this stream right now that are Rockies fans. That's a fact. Bring Horton up soon and put in the pen. Interesting take. That's an interesting take. The question, the concern with Cade Horton right now is control. He has walked a ton of guys down there in the he's walked a ton of guys in Iowa. He struck out guys, but he right now, and to put it just to be clear, I want you guys to know Cade Horton's line right now in Iowa. Cade Horton has a 1.23 ERA, which is great. 2 starts. He's only pitched 7 1/3 innings. He has 7 walks in 7 1/3. That needs to be better. He has 12 strikeouts. That's what we want to see. But when you have a whip of 1.5 because you're putting guys on base. He's only allowed 4 hits. Guys are only hitting 167 off him. I think the pen is an interesting option. I think they're going to want to keep him as a starter with Justin Steele on the shelf. Kyle agrees with Swayze, not pushing the panic button yet. Agree with Cap, charter a flight for the bullpen to go to Iowa. This is what happens with bullpen volatility, though, folks. This is what happens. Okay. Every bullpen in baseball, for the most part, has volatility. Okay. And this is just another one. Rockies, 32 consecutive scoreless innings. That's just horrible. I'm hard on the Cubs and Council because as a Pittsburgh person, we have unrealistic expectations and high goals for our teams. My fiance keeps me grounded and says the Cubs are fine. Oh, it's good to have a good match, Jess. Look at you. Your fiance. I'm more with your fiance at this point. I think stay the course. You're in first place. It's frustrating and bumpy at times. Stay the course. Caleb Johnson visiting Hallis Hall this week. Would you think of using one of the second round picks or maybe a third if he drops? 1,000%. I would not use the number 10 pick to draft a running back for right now for the Bears. I'm pretty positive. I had dinner last night with Cap and a couple of buddies that cover the Chicago Bears. And we went to a restaurant. We had sushi. And next door, I'm positive that the Bears' 3 prospects that were in town doing their 30 visits, Caleb Johnson was going into the restaurant next door. I'm positive it was him. The bullpen fix is score 10 runs a game, says the Godfather, which, quite frankly, they've done a lot of, and that's how they've gotten into first place. The Rockies have a prospect named Chase Dollander that's nasty. Look at Clyde coming in with the Rockies farm system. The real Phil Simms. Good afternoon, Guff. This is where Jed and Carter better earn their money now. That's what I'm saying. We're yelling about the Cubs bullpen. I get it. Took the hat off and was doing this. He was doing this. It's like, that's not the look you want your boss to see. Come on, Clyde. Don't start this stuff. I love that Jess, though, does handle it really well. Are you worried about Shaw with his bat? He's hitting like 165. It doesn't look great, Becky. It's a great question. But this is what I was saying all along. If you have that type of offensive production from the other guys, like PCA's now taking leaps and bounds, you can afford to let Matt Shaw learn on the job. The problem is at some point, do you need to address it? We're not there yet. The Cubs are scoring runs. For a confidence thing, though, how long did we get into May with that average under 200? I don't know. I think it's about how it looks right now. I'm not worried, but it's something I've starred. I'll put it that way. Phil, just saw a story about the Cubs working to get Framber Valdez. Any truth to that? I think what I've learned in talking to Cap from his sources, they are going to be overly aggressive in trying to make a trade for a starting pitcher. And my guess with overly aggressive means that they're going to try to get something done way before the trade deadline. Way before. Because why would the Cubs wait if they have to? Framber Valdez, what's interesting about him, I'm trying to pull this up. Why would the Astros move on from him right now? I mean, the Astros are always going to be a team. I think they're the 4th favorite to come out of the American League. The original Dr. Kimball was in the 60s. Ooh, look at Chef Paul coming with the knowledge, having a nice bowl of clam chowder, probably from Hooters, because he is the man who came up with the recipe for that great soup at Hooters. Kyle, Guff, with Easter around the corner, do you have any family traditions in the McGuffey household for the holiday? Wow, Kyle coming with the personal question. Yeah, no doubt. Big holiday in our family. Celebrated Easter with my wife's family last week, my in-laws, which was outstanding. And then this weekend, we will be going to Mama Guff's for the annual egg hunt. Even though the kids are older, we're still doing it. And just time to spend together and celebrate family and faith and just a good time to be together. So yes, Kyle, absolutely. My thing, Corey say, what's up, Corey? Corey looks like a new guy to the show. My thing is, once you saw that Pearson had no control whatsoever, why do you leave him past the batter minimum? And I think that's a fair question. I also think you got to look, we never know truly who's available and who's unavailable. Okay. There could be a guy saying, hey, I got 2 straight in me. I'm unavailable today, and you can't make a move around that. Bullpens are hard to figure out. You think we have all the solutions. Every guy's not available every day. So maybe they were trying to stretch him one more. It didn't work. Gavin Sheets gets a big, was that off Eli Morgan? Gavin Sheets got that big bases loaded 2-run single. Kind of opened the floodgates from there. And obviously Tatis with a couple of home runs. Clyde, he would be a good add since Steele is done this year, but the Astros are still contending in the AL West. That's what I'm saying. You guys, it's April 15th. In theory, other than the Rockies and probably the White Sox, everyone's contending, right? What's going on, Eli? Phil? Guff, they're still in first place. As you say, get through this month. Time to go on a serious run. No doubt about it. Thomas says, Shaw's making me miss Morel, who I missed anyway. Don't get all hung up on Christopher Morel. I've seen a little bit of him this year. He got ejected from a game last week for slamming his bat down. He is hitting, he is hitting a whopping, he is hitting 311, so he's improved as of late. But guys, like, let's not, keep in mind the trade of Christopher Morel to Tampa Bay is part of what got you Kyle Tucker, because Paredes came back in that deal, and now Paredes was a big part of that trade that sent Kyle Tucker to the Chicago Cubs. And speaking of big trades, I would trade anything right now to go to Hooters, because I'm hungry, but I'm locked in here until 6 o'clock with my guy, Lawrence Holmes, and we're pulling up it's spring break at Hooters, as we all know. And hang on, let me lose my banners here. Got to lose my banners. We know our friends at Hooters. All kinds of stuff here. Hooters, spring break, where they have great food options. And I'm a big fan of the mango habanero, sweet and heat sauce, because I like it spicy and it spices up the best wings in town. The best wings, the coldest beer, and the iconic Hooters girls, they're all at Hooters. And what better time of year as we get better weather and we spring ahead, and finally we get a lot more sun here in Chicago. You can go over on Friday, Good Friday, celebrate Good Friday over at Hooters. Get the Guinness fish and chips for $12.99, the crispy breaded shrimp or shrimp tacos for $9.99, and my favorite, the $6 cocktails. All day, every day, the drink of the month, the People's Margarita. That thing's rimmed with the Tajin spice for an extra kick. It's all just $8. OriginalHooters.com to visit one of Chicagoland's 11 locations. If you want to order, pick it up, take it home, order.hooters.com will get you set up and covered away. Am I on the score today? Oh, snap. Do the damn thing, big timer. I am. 2-6 tonight. Eli wants to know when they're DFAing Andrew Vaughn. How long will it take? I don't see that happening. I don't see the White Sox DFAing Andrew Vaughn. Rockies are 3-12. Yes. What's on the menu at Hooters besides my go-to food? Everything, man. What do you want? How about Chef Paul's clam chowder soup? Hit the like button, guys. I came in late and there are only 8 likes. Terry, you're like, Terry's part of the program. Terry's part of on the payroll. Godfather, we stinks. Just read what my shirt says, Guff. I did. That's awesome. Yeah, boy. Thank you, Phil. Listen today from 2-6 here on the score. So, I mentioned the bet of the day. Okay. I mentioned the bet of the day. Didn't go our way yesterday. It's kind of a bummer. I need to update my graphic here because I'm out here on an island doing this. Katie, by the way, we're going to get Katie on the show here hopefully this week. Talk to her today. She's been out of commission. She was at the Masters. She's going to be here next week. We'll get her back on. She had a very unique perspective of the Rory McIlroy win the other day at the Masters. Very cool, no doubt. I heard there's a lot of rumors about Luis Robert. Great piece on ESPN.com this morning about Luis Robert, how he could be the most coveted bat, even though despite his struggles right now, everything seems to be fine. And teams are keeping an eye on the fact that he's playing every day. I was wrong. Feltner looks like a pretty good for the Rockies. I just need you all to take a deep breath. I know the Cubs lost and you didn't like the way it happened, but I'm just telling you, folks, it's going to be okay. I didn't get a great feel today for my bet of the day in terms of looks, but Jeffrey Springs has pitched 3 pretty damn good games against really good teams. A left-hander, 32-year-old left-hander for the Athletics. I was going to say Oakland, but Sacramento A's. It's going to be cold tonight at the rate. I think I like this here. I think Jeffrey Springs, he had 9 strikeouts in his debut. He's pitched against the Padres his last time out. He pitched against the Cubs. This guy's going to get some tough teams, and now he gets an offense like the White Sox that's up and down. It could have a day like Sunday where they get no hit into the 8th inning. It could have a day like Friday where they score 11. I like this strikeout total here. Jeffrey Springs, I think, gets into the 6th inning tonight and gets a chance to hit this total. I'm riding with Jeffrey Springs over 5.5 strikeouts. It's my bet of the day. Kind of heavily juiced. Doubling up on your bet of the day today. Yeah, I'm pissed about the Blackhawks last night. I'm not pissed the Hawks won. I should never be pissed a Chicago team won. But my God, Montreal, 2-0. It's like they went celebrating. It's like they went to the bar to celebrate their postseason berth, and now they're sitting there scrambling for their playoff lives. Do you see the Bulls beating the Heat tomorrow night? I want to spend a bulk of the show tomorrow talking about this. I like the Bulls tomorrow, -1. I'm in the camp that we should be rooting for them because I think it's a different play-in team. It's a more likable play-in team. I would like to get Joe Cowley's, my friend Joe Cowley's opinion on that, and I'm going to later today when we ask him. He's doing a podcast with Dalen Terry today. That'll be on the channel later tonight, and I do want to get his take on the Bulls and the play-in game because he's saying, oh, fans are too excited about – they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They're too excited about the 9 seed. The play-in games tonight should be amazing. I mean, how about Golden State in the play-in game? It's insane. They're 15 games better. Or they're 48-34, and they're in the play-in game. Kyle says, his Cap says, get up, grab a cup of coffee, and find a way to win a damn baseball game. Please make that shirt happen, Cap. I like that idea. We'll have to that's a really good idea. We should make a Cubs and a Sox version time. Spelling bee time, says Thomas. Shota's a good stopper. I know he didn't pitch well against the Padres, or he did pitch well against the Padres in the home opener. Got beat up a little bit his last time out. Shota, you got to feel good about Shota on the mound if you're a fan, if you're a player. And I think Shota, at least, will do his job tonight. Whether it gets to the bullpen or not, we'll see. You are dealing with a team that's 14-3. 14-3. What a start for the Padres. Dylan Cease went last night. All these people are like, oh, trade for Dylan Cease. They're 14-3. Dylan Cease is going nowhere. Agree that you don't draft a running back in the first round unless you're building an entire offense around him, and the Bears aren't doing that right now. I don't see the Bears ever building an offense like this around a running back. Bullpen won't keep Ricketts up at night. He knows Wrigley will be full anyway. Godfather, I hear you, man. Screaming into the trees, my man, like you're always doing. People are upset. And the only way it's going to change is if they shell out the money to extend Kyle Tucker and then make some big moves at the deadline. And you're probably going to need multiple arms. You're going to need a back-end guy in the bullpen, and you're going to need another starter in the rotation. You might need 2. And please, the fans last night here, or yesterday here, and then last night on the recap, commenting about Trevor flipping Bauer. I just don't understand it. I honestly don't. Why are you going to come in and throw a guy into your clubhouse that hasn't pitched in the big leagues in over 2+ years, 3 years, and could the LA Dodgers could not wait to punt him into the sun? And you want to bring him into this? I don't know, man. I think it's a bad look. Say what you want. He was not found guilty technically of anything, but the man was suspended for a season and a half by Major League Baseball. Optics are optics, okay? And I think that would be, you got fans on the South Side bitching about Mike Clevenger, okay? You go to the Cubs, it's 10 times louder. 10 times louder. And Mike Clevenger never got suspended for anything. Trevor Bauer did. So you're going to bring Trevor Bauer into, he lost a season and a half, was basically fired from the Dodgers, paid to go away. You guys want to put him in your rotation. I'm not saying all of you guys. Some of you guys here yesterday, and certainly a lot of fans on the recap responses last night. I'm like, come on, guys. There are other arms. There's going to be other arms. That's what happened when the Warriors lose to the Spurs last week. Yeah, the Warriors really lost their shot at not being in the play-in game. Jess, that's a huge red flag. Don't bring in someone else's trash. It reminds me of the Claypool trade with the Bears. But even Chase Claypool, Jess, Chase Claypool wasn't Trevor Bauer, okay? He wasn't Trevor Bauer. And Trevor Bauer had elite talent when he got suspended, but he was the one who controlled that. He made a bad decision and it cost him dearly. Turner sucks. Justin Turner's a good signing. He's a good addition because he's hitting whatever right now. Trust me, Justin Turner's going to have big hits for the Cubs this year. What's going on? Justin Garcia, how you doing? I'm doing well, brother. Appreciate you chiming in. Phil, no one wants that smoke. Even though he was not found guilty, never seemed remorseful. He was found guilty, not found guilty in a court of law, found guilty by Major League Baseball. Bauer hour, just kidding, guys. I'm just trying to be real. I understand the talent, okay? I understand the talent. I just don't think it fits here. Chef Bauer's crazier than Zambrano. And Zambrano was just crazy in the dugout, not at home, not to women, not domestic violence type stuff, okay? I just don't understand why you'd even want to suggest that. Great win for the Hawks last night. Still need to find a good coach. Yeah, really good win. Down 2-0. I'm feeling good about cashing a bet. All of a sudden, it's 2-2, 3-3. We're in overtime in a shootout, and the Hawks get it done. Kyle agrees with Chef Paul. Would you like KD on the Bulls, or is he too old? As we get set to wrap things up, Eric, great question. We asked this yesterday in the recap rush hour. So the Suns, who fired Mike Budenholzer, okay, are now talking about listening on offers for KD. Here's where I would say about KD. If you're telling me the Bulls are getting like the Bucks get swept in round 1 by the Pacers and Giannis forces his way out and the Bulls make a move to acquire Giannis, and then you just say, screw it, let's go get KD too, then I'm in. KD, Giannis, Josh Giddey, you can win the East. If you're just making a move to go get KD, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's getting coaches fired. He's bouncing around a lot. The talent's insane. People love him. He's got 1 year left on a deal. He'll be 37 next year. I don't know. I don't think I'd do it just for him straight up. I don't. I like the idea of bringing him in as a second piece on a much bigger thing. Yeah, the KB contract, guys, might be one of the worst of all time. I don't know if he'll come back this season from, and is it a nerve issue? I had to Google the actual problem. I can't imagine it's being received well in Colorado, but the guy just can't stay healthy. It's unbelievable. And finally, Ira, I heard Bob Nightingale reference a Cubs trade with the Marlins for Sandy Alcantara. If you think the Cubs are just going to be able to just land the plane and go get the guy everyone else will want, you're nuts. They're going to have to put a hell of a package together, and they're going to have to really sweeten the pot right now if they want to get a package that includes Alcantara now than prior to the deadline, because he's going to command a haul, and the Cubs need him maybe sooner than later. So the Cubs have a ton of top 100 prospects, as we know. Can they make a move to acquire Alcantara before anybody else? We'll see. All right, I will be on the score. There's the bet of the day. Jeffrey Springs over 5.5 strikeouts today against the Chicago White Sox on what will be a very, very cold game at the rate tonight. Got to save the pipes here, guys. Got to speak for 4 hours with the great Lawrence Holmes on the score today on Spiegel and Holmes. Sitting in for my buddy Spiegs. Ryan McGuffey with another edition. I'll bring the Hooters. I'll bring the recap lunch hour brought to you by Hooters to you guys wherever I'm at, anytime I'm there. 12:30 on the dot, wherever, whenever, Monday through Friday. Always here for you guys. So my brother told me, talk to my brother on the way in. Yeah, here, Breck Bear. Lumbar degenerative disc disease, long-term. Like, I'm wondering if the Rockies have insurance on that deal. I really am, because this is horrible. Good luck today. Appreciate you, Godfather. Danny Rocket, my guy, Danny Rocket, the best. Dude, this guy is one of the great Cub follows out there. The Cubs bull penis, which is bullpen is. Cubs bull penis is terrible. Yeah, it's not great. Not good for KB. Sending prayers, no doubt. Whew. Let's go. Got a big radio show to do. Appreciate you guys. Always appreciate you being a part of the Recap Lunch Hour, brought to you by our great partners at Hooters. My brother, I did want to finish with this. He's like, dude, what's up, Jerry Springer? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I always look at your show and you sign off with take care of yourself and take care of each other. That was a Jerry Springer staple. I'm being honest. I forgot about that. I think I need to mix it up. I'm not sure I can keep using that anymore, going way back into the Springer vault. So he made me laugh today with that. So with that note, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour with me, Ryan McGuffey, for everybody at the Recap. Enjoy the day. Go to Hooters, originalhooters.com, one of 11 Chicagoland locations. We will see you tomorrow.